My name is Elise Paschen. I'm an enrolled member of the Osage Nation, and I'll be reading my poem in Living Nations, Living Words called Heritage 10. Heritage 10. The year my mother was born in Fairfax, Oklahoma, white men were marrying Osage women and killing them for their head rights. My mother was born a year after the Indian Citizenship Act was passed. Indians tied to the U.S. for or against their wills. 3 years before her birth, her half-sister, baby Ruth's grave was dynamited with nitroglycerin by outlaws, scavenging for diamonds and gold buried inside the casket. In the Tall Chief plot, I wander through family history, the marble monuments, angelic statues, measuring each step on grass, memorizing photographs. This one of a striking beauty, my great-grandmother, Eliza Bigheart Tall Chief, 1870 through 1962, surviving her husband by 50 years. The widow, the adored grandmother of my mother, Eliza. Only now do I see my name, a permutation of hers. At home in Chicago, every day I pass family photographs framed on walls. My great-grandfather's oval sepia portrait of his boyish face replicated on the headstone. Instead of the young bride, here is Eliza, a tribal elder wrapped in a multicolored blanket, standing outside her front porch. A photo taken after all those years she outlived him. I am so honored to be here in the Poet Laureate's office of the Library of Congress. I had the great opportunity to work with Joseph Brodsky, whose statue I'm looking at right now, when he was the Poet Laureate, the American Literacy Project, to put a book of poetry in every hotel and motel in the country. I was at that time running the Poetry Society of America. And it was around that time that I first met Joy Harjo. She came to read for the Poetry Society in Santa Fe. And I then was able, on an NEA international grant, I was able to take Joy Harjo and Lucy Tapahanzo to Great Britain on the first reading tour of Native American women poets in England and the United Kingdom. And that's where Joy and I got to know each other, and she's a dear friend, a beloved sister. When we were there, we were on the underground, on the tube, and looked up and we saw poems on the underground and a sonnet by Michael Drayton, Since There Is No Help, Come Let Us Kiss and Part. And I thought to myself, this would be amazing to do in New York City. And then I thought, no, there's no way we could put poetry in the subways in New York City. Returned back to the States and received a call from the New York City Transit, whose president, Alan Keeper, had been in London at the same time. And they asked if we would collaborate on Poetry in Motion. And of course, I said yes. It has just been revelatory seeing Joy's comet rise as Poet Laureate. She has revolutionized poetry in America. She has made Americans aware of poetry by all the work she's done. She's put her heart and soul into her Poet Laureateship. I am so honored also to be part of her anthologies, Living Nations, Living Words, the project she did with the Library of Congress, with the Light of the World, the Norton Anthology as well. And because of those anthologies, I believe that Joy has revolutionized not only poetry, but Native American poetry, and has brought attention to so many incredible Native American writers writing right now. And the project she's done with the Living Nations, Living Words is an example of this. I'm also very pleased that I am a founding member of Indigenous Nation Poets in NAPO, and we are having our inaugural retreat this week at the Library of Congress, working with Rob Casper. And I have to say, Jennifer Forster has done so much, Kimberly Blazer, who is the founder of INAPO. And we're here with our 16 inaugural fellows. I can't wait to work with them this week. And we will be celebrating Joy with her farewell reading and the dance party on Friday. So many thanks, all my gratitude.